So today is our 42nd Ohana drop, and we are doing a series of Ohana drops around the island as our COVID-19 response program to the incredible need that's developed during this pandemic. So we actually do 14 to 15 drops per month. This is our first one of July, on July 3rd here in beautiful Waimea, and this one's especially unique in that we have partnered with Parker Ranch, who's providing 6,500 pounds of beef. That's over 3 tons of ground beef in 5-pound packs for the families that are coming through.
So the ranch has a beef program here in Hawaii that's locally grass-fed beef, and so we took some of that production and made it available to the community. We had to unfortunately cancel our rodeo. It'll be the first rodeo, I think, in several decades that we've had to cancel. We work every 4th of July. We actually are a 7-day-a-week business, so the cows don't go to sleep, so we're working 7 days a week. But we'll get the 4th of July off this year, but in exchange for that, we just decided it would be a great thing to help out the food basket and provide some beef to the community.
We have not only the National Guard, but the police department from the county is taking charge of directing traffic, as is the Sheriff's Department. We cannot do something of this magnitude without them. The National Guard actually puts the food into the cars. They've been trained, they know how to stay safe. It keeps our staff and our volunteers from having to have that risk of getting COVID-19 from somebody unwittingly in the car. So that's what you see in action here. Even though the car windows are mostly up, you'll see people smiling inside. I think in general our Ohana drops are a very happy place to be. I'm guessing we're going to see over 2,000 families today, 2,000. We've got enough food for that many individuals and maybe a few more. We'll be passing out not only the beef, but we've got also milk. And we have our emergency food boxes and bags, which are a mixture of non-perishable foods and rice, typically canned protein, vegetables, you know, the usual things that make up an emergency food box. And then also, again, Kokua Ministries is providing this wonderful barbecue bag, which has got baked beans and chips and fun things for kids.
So we've been doing it for almost 12 years now, and pretty much under the radar. The people that needed us knew about us. We've quietly had this ministry Wednesday mornings for years, and it all changed in March. Basically, we call it the pre-COVID and then the COVID times. And we found that our emergency food box distribution, the number of families we're serving has almost doubled the average in April, May, and June over January, February, and March of this year and previous years. The meals we're doing are over 100%, so we've more than doubled the hot meals we're serving. And the individuals we're serving is more than doubled.
August, we expect to see a surge. Although I will tell you, in truth, every month since we started in late March, we've seen a continual rise in need. We have seen an astounding number of first-time food bank users. We've been tracking that with our registration process, and at one of our stops in Waikoloa, the first time we've ever done one there, it was almost 95% were first-time users of a food bank. It's sobering. You know, there's so many people who've never ever dream that they lose their jobs, and then trying to navigate a system that you've never had to navigate before. I know the high percentage of people that come to our drops, they really are in need. And we can particularly see from those first-time users, they've waited a long time in order to finally be humble enough, I guess, to come to a food drop. It's hard, you know, it's really hard. What we try, all of our staff is great this way. There's no judgment. Somebody needs food, they come. And we don't want anybody to hold back. We don't want anybody saying, no, somebody needs it worse than I do. If you're worried about feeding your kids or your kupuna or anybody, if you're skipping meals because you don't have enough to eat, you don't have enough food in your house, you need to come out. In April, we served over 32,000 In May, we served over 50,000, and in June, I'm just tallying up, but it's going to be over that 50,000. So it's significant, the increase, people just being out of work that long, or the cost of food in normal pre-COVID times is 81% higher than you would find on the mainland. Right now, it's jumped yet again. We're seeing it, we're purchasing all the food. There's been a disruption in the supply chain from the mainland. The usual emergency food we get from the federal government is not arriving. So again, we are incredibly grateful to our donors who have given us enough money that we can actually purchase the food that you see being distributed today. And then again, Parker Ranch, I mean, wow. So we are helping our local farmers. We have bought everything from steamed and frozen ulu and steamed and frozen sweet potato to poi from the Waipea farmers, and steamed and frozen kalo. But we have a significant amount of other fresh produce. We try and move it around the island and make sure, especially our small and medium farmers who have lost their restaurant accounts, I mean their resort accounts. And the really exciting news about that is that we don't seem to have trouble getting enough food. We have enough food on this island actually to feed ourselves. And so that's, I think it's a realization that everybody's becoming aware of. If we support our local agriculture, we will be able to feed ourselves, and we don't need to worry about the fact that 85 to 90% of our food is coming from off island. We could just keep all of our money here and invest in our local agriculture here. Truly, it wasn't very long ago that this island fed a larger population than we have now. It's usually, I hear, 800 to 900,000 people left here, and everything they ate came from here. And now we have almost 200,000 people, and 85 to 90% of our food comes from out. It seems like we should just keep our food here and feed ourselves. And yes, we'll share if need be, but that true food security that you can get from being a place-based economy, making sure that we put lots of energy back into our local agriculture, and it will come back and we'll be able to feed ourselves. So all of our produce that we send out is all local. And then again, our protein is all local. So that's a huge thing.